Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Ori the Entertainer. How's that, eh? Isn't that kind of funny? Listen, it doesn't mean that I wouldn't take a title like that seriously, but there's only one person who's really taking a title like that and taking it to the top, and that's Cedric the Entertainer. If you don't know him, I'm really highlighting the show he's part of now called The Neighborhood. 7 seasons in. I'm not sure. I think we should be seeing an eight. I don't see why not. This show can do no wrong. It had a bit of a weird off season. Again, for me personally, it was a little bit too. I know I don't want to get anybody upset that I'm going to use this term, but it was a little bit too new agey. I wasn't getting where they were going and was like, oh no, what's going to happen? But they brought it back to some good heart values that we all share, whether you're new age, this age, that age, past age. It doesn't matter. This is a heartfelt show and comes together with some crazy stuff going on. Of course, it does have to deal, or it does deal with, as just an organic entity, as a creative show. It does deal with the times and what's going on. There's this term called wokeness, and whether you're for or against it, the show also had to illustrate. Not had to, but it seemed to have come out organically in some of the episodes. But again, it's now finding its grassroots in some of the. It's very, very present. It's a very, very modern show, The Neighborhood. I believe the main creator of this show, or the one who's really brought this together, is Cedric the Entertainer. But the main thing is, it's a very present show, but it's also still going back to the values that really, really matter, that don't change no matter how the times change. And that's good loving people, good relations, good neighbors, looking out for each other, and just love leads the way. And when it's tricky and it doesn't look like it can, somehow they find the way to get back to love leading the way. So I love this show. I was only really, really a little bit concerned when we all went into lockdowns. I thought I would never get to see this show again. Again, it's The Neighborhood. You can see it. It's streaming on Paramount, if you have that streaming service. And let's get into some of the people who also are in that show. We've got Max Greenfield. So you guys know him. He's Dave Johnson. He's the neighborhood that moves into. Okay, so The Neighborhood is where Calvin Butler, Tina Butler, Malcolm and Marty Butler, that's their two sons. They already live in the neighborhood. And then you have Dave, and you have Gemma, and then you have their son Grover moving into the neighborhood. And the first season opens up with the Yardicue. But again, it's a great opener for a first season, and you can't think that you were not going to check it out again. That first season touched all the right hard spots that you're like, okay, I think I can stay with this show. And depending on where you are, you would pick up on it. I mean, if you could, you would repeat it on the weekends if it was available for a rerun on a streaming service, what have you. But you're already feeling the good vibes from just that first episode, and we're 7 episodes in from 2018. That's huge, okay? That's like honorable for a TV show these days. And so getting into it, so the Johnsons are now moving into the neighborhood where the Butlers have already lived, and Calvin Butler's the host of the Yardicue. And the Johnsons are a little bit nervous about moving into the neighborhood. And of course, it's evident that the Butlers are black, and it's a black neighborhood, and the Johnsons are white, and they're moving in. And they appear as if they're not sure if they're comfortable, and it appears as if Calvin Butler, with the humor of this, remember Calvin Butler, Cedric the Entertainer, this is a funny guy. I remember him, segue, I remember him the first time when he was with Martin Lawrence in Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. A very funny movie, and he'd come in and do his dance, and that's when he was like a dancer. He's still a dancer even on the show now. But again, he has his hesitations about the new neighbors moving in, and it's just funny because of the last name of the Johnsons and Grover being Grover. So from the Butler's point of view, it's like, what? How are they getting that kind of names? But if you watch the show, you'll get into those idiosyncrasies, and they work well. And it's love that's holding this together. But you also get like this dynamic where you have Marty and Malcolm, the two brothers, the two Butler brothers. And again, I want to make sure Marcel Spears and Sean McKinney, these guys are great. You know how we have R2D2 and C3PO? Well, Marty and Malcolm, they hold the show together in a way like R2D2 and C3PO save the whole galactic universe, without really being overwhelmed with the credit, because the Force, all the space witches, I'm just being funny with their sabers and blah blah blah. Okay, sidetrack. I don't mean to do that to Star Wars fans. I know I was a big fan of Star Wars from day one. I don't know what it is now, but back to the neighborhood. So you have Malcolm and Marty, who are a lot like R2D2 and C3PO. These guys are the ones who, in the background of the show, they're not the main of the show, although they have their main parts and main stories pretty much on each episode too. But their humor together, I'm telling you, it's just special, and all of them together work it off perfectly. I hope you enjoy it. I didn't want to rant on too long. Give credit to Sheena Arnold. I remember her finding out that she was from the show Everybody Hates Chris. If you liked Chris Rock, so that was the show that he was part of. I met her there. I saw her there first, and then who else? We've got Grover, and then Trey, Malcolm S. Yeah, and he plays Trey, so that's a regular character. Again, what I'm really saying, The Neighborhood. It's for you to check out. It's funny, it's loving, it's present, it's funny, and I really would like to know what you think. If you've not watched it and you're going to check it out, I doubt you'll come back to this video to leave me a comment. If you know the show, let me know what you're thinking. I don't know if I'll get your attention with the title, but I hope I'm going to get some fan feedback, because if you love The Neighborhood, we got something in common. I love you, even if you don't love The Neighborhood, and everybody have a great night.